Thanks for listening to the MADExWEST VLODCAST. Please stay social at MXW VLODCAST on Twitter and MXW VLODCAST on Instagram. Do not forget, you can find us on our personal pages. I'm at Second Kings 4, and he's Made Fitness CT.
Find the full workouts and some behind-the-scene footage on YouTube. And remember, the full podcast can be found on iTunes and Spotify. All you got to do is search MADExWEST VLODCAST. That's MADExWEST VLODCAST.
Welcome back to the MADExWEST VLODCAST, folks. I'm West.
I'm Made.
And we are broadcasting live from Matt's new house.
Welcome. I apologize. There's no ironing board in the back.
It's okay.
We blew the sponsorship with Timberland and MySpace.
That's okay, too.
And we never got it from Harborview.
And we're moving forward.
And we're still accepting new sponsorships. You can email us at the MADExWESTVlogcast at gmail.com. If you would like to sponsor the show, we will shout you out. We'll even wear a hat that has a American flag with a dog on it.
Thank you very much. And like I said, in terms of moving on, we're going to move on to the evolution of fitness today. That is our topic, folks.
Let's do it.
Let us get right into it. So, in our era, fitness evolutionized from
Our era.
Our era, because we
ain't old.
I'm
Nah.
I don't know. Okay, so when did it start for you? Because I'm still a part of the bench press generation.
And you still do. Every time I come to your house, I get a bench. That's always the bonus.
I'm still a part of the bench press generation.
Bonus.
What I mean by the bench press generation, though, is when I started working, I was always the fundamentals: leg press, squat, bench press, pull downs, rows, and then you have the filters, you have the bicep curls, and tricep extensions and things like that. Yep. I think those are still being done in fitness venues today, but I think other things have taken over along the way, and maybe we're gonna get into that. Like maybe we're gonna name some of the things like aerobic fitness, which has been big, classes, high intensity interval training, boutique fitness clubs and things like that have really taken over the industry and come out of, like, I don't want to say come out of nowhere, but just like have blossomed into something that, fitness, this whole fitness thing is just booming. And I just want to touch base on each one of these topics, see if we can get some feedback from the audience and, be able to.
It's always changing.
It's always changing.
And I feel like everyone's always trying to find the next new piece of equipment, the next type of training. Where'd all this stuff come from?
So that word evolution in regards to fitness is not only a general life thing. I think it's like you can break it down into different sections of life. Like the whole exercise industry, like the fundamentals, like who are you fundamentally? Are you the HIIT? Are you the CrossFit? Are you the boutique gym? Are you the back to the basics guy? Because I think, in my opinion, a lot of things always end up going back to basics. We do so many of these various exercises. Things are always going back to basics. Like, who are you? Which one are you? What do you stand on? What are your grounds of fitness? We're doing a lot more combination movements. And there's nothing wrong with that. The thing is that if you're doing a lot of multi-axial and combination movements with people that don't fully understand the fundamentals, their bodies won't adapt fast enough. Like let's say, for instance, you have a 35-year-old young man or young woman who's never played sports in their whole life, and they come into a facility, maybe a CrossFit facility, maybe a HIIT facility, maybe a boutique gym that specializes in athletic training, and he or she does some exercises. They feel good about it, but their body starts to they start to feel certain types of soreness in their body, or they start to feel like or they start to move towards injury.
Yeah.
Their bodies are not going to recover as fast as someone that grew up playing sports, or someone that grew up, and their bodies recognize these injuries, and their bodies already know how to adapt to these particular, circumstances. And that's kind of where I want to go with this one.
Okay.
I think like we're helping people in the fitness industry, but we're also like taking away from them because we don't give them the fundamentals. I don't see a lot of trainers doing that anymore, and I don't see a lot of facilities really pushing that.
Let's dive into it and so we can compare.
All right.
I think that's a good place for us to go. Let's compare, because the purpose of this podcast is for the evolution of fitness, and we want to be clear about this, is everything that we're about to talk about, we're going to tie into how you always have to go back to basics. Like where we came from, where it all began.
Yeah.
That's always going to be number one.
Yeah.
Where it's going is always going to change.
Yeah.
But it's always going to dial back into the basics, because you wouldn't be able to add a combination or, make the movement more intense if you didn't know what the movement was in the first place.
Yeah, because your body has to understand movement. Your body needs to know how to move on its own axes in order for you to be able to add multi-axial movements.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can do it. I mean, everyone can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a systematic approach, and if we're losing that systematic approach, then we're going to completely lose ourselves in fitness, and you don't want to lose that.
No, not at all. So it all began with a caveman that was banging a rock with a hammer, digging up some sand. No, from our era, it started with a basic gym membership. So you know that Team West has a home gym at his house. If you follow me on Instagram, you see that I've started to put together my home gym. A lot of people don't have that. And especially back in the day, it wasn't even a thought to really have a home gym. Maybe you had a piece of equipment, but not a home gym.
No.
So what did you do? You bought a gym membership at a local gym.
You went to a local gym.
And you just went there. And back then, there was no group fitness classes. It was just a bunch of machinery. And you literally went in there and picked your poison. And I'm sure they might have had trainers or whatnot back then. But again, it was all basics.
Yeah.
Right? So we're talking squats. We're talking benches. His favorite. Curls, dip bars, Smith's machines, chest fly machines, pull-up bars, assisted pull-ups, things like that. Where you would just kind of go in, do what you want to do, get out. But you wanted to do something that, was going to be effective. And then it all changed over time.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the change. Actually, I like
change is good.
I actually like it because, years ago when I was playing football, I played semi-pro football, and I used to do a lot of the basic stuff all the time. I actually taught fitness classes at the time, but there's only so much creativity you can have.
Yeah.
Then I started playing football, and I worked with my strength and conditioning coach on all different types of concepts of training, and I incorporated some of that into my classes. And it made the classes more fun. It was more creative, and people had a lot more. Their bodies were more instinctive to do things. But the thing is, when we have to be able to bring people into this. They need to understand the basics. They need to understand the fundamentals. Yeah. Physical therapy right now is doing really well because a lot of us as trainers, a lot of us as coaches, we're not able to produce the type of effect on the people that we're working with the way we're supposed to. Yeah. Because some places we just want to get them in and out. Some places are geared more towards making the profit as opposed to, making the person or help create a better version of who that person is.
The wellness. And
that's hard for me to sit back and see.
Yeah.
That is.
It is, yeah.
That's the toughest thing for me. That's why I don't really I don't like going to gyms like that. I don't really go. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to give any names or examples. So from the basic gym membership, it goes into aerobic movement. And I don't know if you remember when you were a child. I remember when I was a child, you wake up early in the morning, you turn on the television. There was always some type of person that was doing some type of at-home exercise on live television. It was a female, it was guys. There was a couple famous females that did it.
There was one, Denise Austin, I remember her. Jihad, and a Billy Blank guy.
Oh!
Tybo guy. Yeah, he was good. But those guys aren't around no more. What they did was evolution all in itself.
Yes.
I mean, fitness has boomed. I mean, look at the aerobics class, the group fitness classes now. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
The group fitness classes, you've got Body Pump, you've got Insanity, which is a group fitness class.
P90X is coming to group fitness.
P90X is group fitness.
You have spinning.
Yoga. Yoga's a fitness class.
Yoga,
yes,
Pilates,
Ply yoga. All these different things.
There's so many different things.
So many different things in fitness, folks.
There's even aquatics for people that have a pool at their gym.
People have a pool or people that have injuries. They want to recover. Aquatics is the way to go. So all these different things. But speaking of injuries, certain things. We're doing all these different things, and we're talking about fundamentals in fitness, and there are certain types of exercises and schemes that we want to not say look out for, but we want you to be more we want you to understand a little more what you're getting yourself into.
And just be aware.
Just be more aware. Like we've got high intensity interval training, which is great. You got places like Orange Theory, and you've got CrossFit, and you've got a lot of other types of high intensity training places. Like you got something called Strong, at a club in the area. So you want to make sure you're dealing with the right types of coaches and the right types of trainers.
Yeah, Barry's boot camp was a huge one
Barry's
too.
Boot camp was big too.
First came up. So it goes from that into, as we said, HIIT, CrossFit. You had the Insanity. You have kickboxing, which is considered a high-intense interval training, right? And then CrossFit is its own breed.
CrossFit, you're using weights.
Heavy weights. We're talking Olympic lifting.
You're talking about weights. You're talking Olympic lifting, where it's like, just doing body weight, like skills like speed drills is a little different than doing this stuff.
So let's give it a quick reminder, because we're going to dive into the HIIT and CrossFit, because I feel like that's kind of where society is pretty high on right now.
Yeah.
We're going back to those gym memberships that we started with.
Okay.
Those basic fundamental movements.
And would you consider a CrossFit gym a boutique gym?
Yes.
Okay.
So we can even seek into that. So let's do HIIT, which we gave a couple of examples. We're going to give more. CrossFit and other boutique gyms, because I do think that those are... CrossFit's its own boutique type of gym. It just has their own name and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But those basic movements, you're not doing those CrossFit movements without the basics.
No.
You're talking about a squat. Like, sure, you could increase the weight and things like that. HIIT, half the movements that you're doing come from the basic gym memberships, and I hate to say it, comes from the basic aerobics.
Comes from basic aerobics.
You talk about running in place. All you're doing is increasing the intensity.
Yeah.
A jumping jack, nice and soft in aerobics. You're increasing the intensity, or you're turning it into a combination.
So like CrossFit is a different breed. I do CrossFit, and there are times where like I felt certain types of like creaks in my body from doing CrossFit, but like, see, I'm used to that.
Yeah, but you're also a trainer too, though.
So I know some of these lifts, if I don't get them on the first try, I may get them on the second or third try.
Let me ask you something. Do they ever program something where you're like, I'm not going to do that movement?
I can't say. I could say it like this. They do program certain things where I say I won't do the movement if I was the average gym goer.
Gotcha.
But due to the fact that, I like I specialize in movement, I do it.
What about the weight?
I do.
You do the recommended weight all the time?
I try the recommended weight, and if it doesn't work for me on the first side, I drop it.
Okay.
Or I'll raise it.
That's just for my own interest. I want to know.
I'll just raise it. I tend to use the recommended weight.
Gotcha. So for an average person, do you recommend them to go to CrossFit? Like for somebody that wants to get a fast fix.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say fast fix, but has limited time, but wants to see constant improvement, consistent across the board. Where's a good place to start?
I would go to
if they had to go to like a boutique gym.
If they had to go to a boutique gym, I would go to some place where it's fully functional, where you can learn a host of different movements and be able to modify without modifying into something that's going to be detrimental to your body.
And there's other things out there too. There's a bunch of types. Like we said, Barry's Boot Camp, I feel, is like one of those things that started. It's not here in Connecticut, but you hear it all the time in like the major cities, Chicago, New York, London, things like that. I feel like they might have started that boutique movement.
Yeah, probably.
Because I can't think of someone like a place that did it before them as a boutique gym. You have all these tough girl types of gyms that they do. You have these kickboxing gyms. You have these, now they're doing things for ellipticals. They're doing things for rowers. They're doing things for treadmills with Orange Theory and stuff. It's like, it's getting out of control. It's getting out of control.
It's going in a far off direction. Like every time you turn on, someone's got their own little niche. We're just gonna have rowers in this gym, but we're gonna add like burpees to our rowers.
Yeah,
that's like
it's the same.
You got row. I don't get it. Like row house. I don't know your system, but I just use your name because
we can.
Because I can. It's our show. What the hell? There's so many different things popping up. I don't know what to do anymore.
No.
Everything goes back to basics. If you can't teach the basics, Don't teach it all.
Evolution of fitness. It started with a basic gym membership, y'all. That's what we're getting at. Then it came to aerobic movements where you could turn on your television at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and work out with Daisy Dukes. What's her name? Diana Ross. And then you got Billy Blanks, who I originally thought this was Billy Blanks, but it's my boy Team West.
And then you go to gyms and you're in a fitness class in the gym. And then after the fitness class in the gym,
you got boutiques.
Now you're working with trainer. Now you got a trainer.
So the evolution it's gone crazy. You got the Beachbody on Demand, you got Neo U, you have Mirror, you have Peloton. You see the commercials all the time. Nordic Track, things that you could do at your own house, even if you have a home gym or not. I mean, from starting with a basic gym membership to now being able to do it at the comfort of your own home, paying online per month or for the year to use these programs. It's just amazing how the evolution has. What it's become, and now, like, what direction do you see it going in?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Are people gonna like eventually stop coming to the gym? Do you think, or are these boutique classes like are they not gonna survive because people are gonna say, you know what, I want to do it from my own home. Look at shopping. Think about going to the stores. Look at Amazon.
That's a good question. I think at home fitness is always gonna be a thing. Mm-hmm. I think boutique gyms are just going to have to be a bit more creative when it comes to that because, like, at-home fitness is always going to be a thing. So these boutique fitness places have to be more creative. They have to know how to draw you in because a lot of people that go to these boutique gyms aren't going to go to, like, you know, a place like that's going to charge, like, cheap membership, like an LA Fitness or...
Yeah.
They're not going
and vice versa. They're not going to go to a boutique gym.
No, they don't want to go there. They want to go somewhere where they feel community. And where do you feel most comfortable? Most people feel most comfortable at home. So if they're going to work out at home, they can order a Mirror, they can order a Peloton, or they can have a trainer come to their house.
Yeah. That's another thing, too, for a trainer. Is that going to slow things down?
It just might. But the personal training is more about building relationships. Yeah. I can't build a relationship on a Mirror.
No, but is that going to be the direction where trainers are going to have to go to, where they're going to have to do things more digitalized instead of more personalized? All of this started from the basics, and that's what I mean. Team West is always been a big supporter of the back to the basics since the day I met you.
Yeah, I'm all about the basics.
And even if you're doing it at home, if you're going to these boutique gyms, just remember that all these exercises all came from where it all began, and that was in the gym. Doing those basic movements, using those machines, or learning how to do those exercises there. The direction that the industry is going in, we find fascinating because we're trainers. So we want to continue this conversation. And we're going to do a part 2 for the evolution of fitness.
I want to talk more about the psychological aspect of it. Though I'm not a therapist, I just want to talk more about the psychological aspect of it. And basically that aspect of it. Where it's taking, like, where our mindsets are as, like, clients, and where our mindsets are as trainers, and where the industry's mindset is when it comes to, like, caring. And there's a thin line between caring for somebody and getting their money, or just taking their money because you want them to think you care.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to episode number 8 of the MADExWEST VLODCAST. Thank you for your patience in waiting for this episode to drop. Keep in touch with us on Instagram. You can find West at
Second Kings 4.
You can find me at Made Fitness CT. You can find both of us at the MXW Vlodcast on Instagram and Twitter. Also, our email. You guys can hit us up anytime. Check the Instagram because that's when we're going to let you know when episode 9 is going to drop. And as we said, we're going to kind of continue the conversation about the evolution of fitness and bring it into more personal-based relationships of what to expect from a trainer and when you could see what they're about.
True.
I'm Made.
I'm Wes.
We'll see you next time. Peace.